Angeles, Neighbors, Notorious. Love the bus. I know the whole word.
I have to hear it and then I'll know it. I'm like, that's one of the songs I remember the words to, but have to be playing the song with it too. Then I remember all. But if I try to just go, I'm like,
I know every one of them.
I know
every one of them. Hey y'all, it's 7 o'clock. Welcome everybody.
What
Here we
up?
go again.
Yes.
7 p.m. Sports with Balls, y'all, live.
It's like deja vu.
Man, I'm so excited for today's show. Like, I am so pumped. There's a lot to talk about. Lots going on, man. So much stuff going on. First, Dimitri, welcome again, as always.
What's up, everybody? It's so awesome to see all your beautiful faces again. Twice a week. I'm such a lucky guy.
You are.
Awesome.
You are. You're fired. Grant Miles, brother. What's
You guys
up?
too.
What up,
What's up?
man? I'm glad
Yeah.
to be back. This is nice.
Yeah, man.
I had
Love
so
you
much
being
fun.
here.
I had to come back.
You had so much fun. You had well, you're gonna be here quite often now, from what I
Glad
hear.
you're back, buddy.
What I hear.
Appreciate
And
it.
a special appearance by Miss Lauren Leal. Hello.
Hello, what's going on, guys? So happy to be up in here once again.
Yes. And breaking news that I have to tell everybody about. Miss Lauren Leal is now the co-host of Sports with Balls.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
She
going
will be
on?
here. Yeah.
Couldn't think of anybody better.
Could not.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
I think of the audience meme where everybody's in the Oscars and they all stand up and cheer.
Yeah.
That's what I think of.
I will
There's
take
not-
that.
there's
Thank
not
you
many
so
people.
much, Dimitri.
You're
Well,
welcome.
Appreciate it.
now that we got all that out the way, welcome, Miss Leo. We got to thank a couple people making this possible. We're coming to you live from Boothpin Studio here at Lucky's Pub, downtown 801 St. Emmanuel. They make it all happen for us. We're here. Joe Applewhite and Applewhite Realty, making the impossible possible. 713-291-5270. If you mention us to Joe Applewhite, he is going to help you out with your move. If you guys are moving from apartments, houses, or whatever it is, Joe's gonna take care of you. Just mention us, Sports with Balls, to Joe Applewhite.
SWB.
Also, you got Mark Thiessen Law Firm, probably the best law firm in Houston right now.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, yeah. That's what, he's got all his stuff over here. Oh, the little shirt fell down, but he gave us a tank top. But, yeah, Mark Thiessen Law Firm. They're incredible people, what they do over there. They take care of all your attorney needs. And if you mention us to them as well, you get a free consultation. So call them, mention SWB, and you guys are ready to go. But other than that, man, y'all ready to get going?
Let's do it.
Let's
Ready.
do it.
Ready.
Born ready.
Let's start off with some Major League Baseball, because I had said on Monday that the owners agreed to terms and 50-50 revenue split, stuff like that. It's coming out now that some of these players are not happy and they're not going for it. And I hate that, because people want to see sports back ASAP, and it seems like the players are just not having it.
Yeah, everybody wants to stay healthy and safe, and
Yeah? Grant?
they don't want to give up half their money either.
Well, that's the thing. And I'm torn about it. And the reason why is because I understand the player's point of view, but I understand the owner's part of it too.
Absolutely.
Players sign a contract. They want to get their money. I get that. But on the other hand, it's hard for us as fans to feel sorry
Yes.
for guys that are making as much money as they are.
Yes.
And saying, okay, you're going to have to give up half of your money. I can't sympathize with
Absolutely.
that. But on the one side, I can understand their point
But
of view.
what Snell said was ridiculous. I mean, listen,
Absolutely.
he's desensitized the entire situation. Like,
Yeah.
pay me, and that is
Yeah.
just not. That's not right, and that's not what this is all
Just
about.
like what
You're trying to
Grant was
make
saying.
you're trying to make sports come back, and people be have fun with it and stuff like that. So, it bothers me what he said, but there's a lot of things going on.
I mean, and I feel the same way that Grant does. Like, I see both parties here, but at the same time, do you not see middle America? Do you not see America in general, the economy going down, and how much sports impacts people's lives and how much
Absolutely.
happiness it brings to people?
Absolutely.
So whenever you say something you allude to the money and the pay rate, and being cut in half. Oh, our season's being cut in half from 162 to 82 games. Like, why does my salary have to be cut in half? And I'm putting myself at risk whenever I'm playing against other players.
Yeah.
Look, if they're going to move forward with starting the season in July and having spring training in June, do you think that they're not going to test everybody to make sure they're negative? Do you think they're not going to take all the precautions to make sure that
exactly.
everything
There's going to be
is right?
doctors on site. I will say this, though, too. They did the first agreement for 50%, and then the MLB was trying to get another 50% out of what was left. So basically, it was leaving them with a quarter of their money.
Well, they're trying.
So
to
I understand
we all
why
know.
they said no, but same with Grant. Boo-hoo.
yeah.
Instead of $30 million a year, you get freaking 11.
You got a lot of people on there, Dimitri. So if
Heck
y'all are
yeah,
chiming
what's up,
in,
everybody?
if y'all are chiming in on Facebook, Dimitri's here. He's going to answer all your questions. He's got we're going to have call-ins set up too. Johnny's going to take care of that. But we've got a lot of things like Dimitri's going to be answering a ton of questions on Facebook, all that stuff. So we're getting ready.
Did
Grant,
you hear
to
that,
go
Dimitri? Did you hear that? That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're going to be doing. Just want to make sure you knew that.
What are we doing?
You just you've been. I'm just
That's
want to make
not
sure you
I
know,
mean-
man. That's all.
What are we doing?
That's all.
Are we doing a sports show
Are
right
we in
now?
the Twilight Zone? What?
Just wait till I get to the Kardashians. This is great. So for y'all that don't know, I've got a Kardashian. Y'all can look it up if you want. I want to see how many. I know this because I've looked it up. How many athletes the Kardashians have dated? It's pretty impressive. There's a list, a laundry list. It's impressive.
They like
But
athletes.
We'll get back to the baseball. But like Grant, you made a good point, and what Dimitri was saying is like they are taking a little bit of a pay cut, but. Snell said that he wants all of his money, and it just seems with any one of these situations, it's going to boil down to money.
Yeah.
Even in the
Absolutely.
NBA,
Absolutely,
it's going to
Always does.
boil down to money with these guys. I just hope that. Look, we'll segue into this in a little bit with the NBA, but people just want to see sports again, man.
Yes, that's
Right.
it.
I mean, and if y'all are arguing over, I mean, I get it, totally understand, but you want no money or some money?
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody
and-
wants something besides Korean baseball and national cornhole championships.
Correct. And I think that's where they lose fans when they start doing this deal of start talking about their money.
I bet
Yeah,
Tampa Bay
yeah.
lost a
We don't
ton.
want to hear that. Like
Yeah,
you were
no.
saying, nobody wants to hear that. We just want to watch baseball.
Yes,
Right.
We don't care about what you're getting paid, how much
Yes,
you're going to
yes.
get. I don't care about
And
that.
play it for the love of the game.
Can I say this bottom line that
No.
no? You're going to cut me off before I even go into
Well,
it?
If
welcome
you're
to
going to
the
ask
show.
permission.
Even go
If you're
into
going to
it.
ask permission,
Sports
yeah.
with balls. You're just going to come right in.
Yes,
Gutsy.
yes.
No, is that this might be the best revamp and refresh in disguise for the MLB. Because it was being talked about how the seasons drag on too long. There's too many games in a season. Whenever you're working all day long, you come home, you can't make the game, you can't watch the game because you have a million other things going on. This may be kind of a good thing for the majors.
Correct.
It
For
might.
sure.
And it's,
Thank you for the applauses. Thank you for the
Thank
applauses, producer Johnny. But what I will say too is, I'm gonna keep talking for 1
Do your
second.
thing, do your
no,
thing.
For
I
one,
love it.
For 1 second is before the shutdown happened and COVID was just getting started at the beginning of March. A-Rod spoke out about this. He was like, I think there needs to be, either more coach speak during the game from the players to have more interaction. There needs to be viewership on batting practice prior to first pitch to make it more exciting. And so, this might be the best disguise for the majors.
Right.
It
Right.
might be.
the schedules aren't going to be the same. They're going to play interdivision. They're going to play in their region. So we're not going to play games that are. We probably won't play the Yankees. The Astros. I'm speaking just on the Astros behalf. We're going to play in our region, in our division, and stuff like that. It's something that's regional games, and it's just for the simple fact to get baseball back out there.
Yes.
And this might be a great thing from what you're saying. Like maybe people realize how much they do love baseball.
Absolutely.
How much they miss
Completely.
baseball,
You
and
miss
now
it.
it's like, oh my goodness. Like,
Let me say one thing too. Eddie on Facebook just brought up a really good point as well, and we should know this very well, and y'all probably know this too. But you know how many people it goes into making a professional sports game?
Oh,
all the
tons.
vendors, all the
Oh,
all the
right.
press,
Right.
all the cameramen, all the people
Right.
working at the stadium. I mean, so many people are affected by this.
And that's why the
And-
guy
Oh,
at the
yeah.
beer stand, he doesn't want to hear about this guy's
Exactly.
being
Oh, yeah.
upset about
Yeah.
missing
Exactly.
half
Way to go,
of
Eddie.
his million.
Appreciate
Eddie.
your comment.
Exactly.
That's-
Look, they can just walk up and down the rows. Hey, hand sanitizer, cold hand sanitizer, stuff like
Absolutely.
that.
Well,
Absolutely.
I mean, so they opened up, in Phoenix and Florida right now, where professional teams can practice now.
Right.
In Florida and in Arizona, which is amazing. In other states, they're saying by the end of the weekend or next week, 22 of the 30 facilities will be open in the NBA at least. And things are starting to come back around as far as teams trying to play, trying to get back on the field. I don't know if like, are the Astros going to go down and try and play in Florida? Are they going to do spring training there? I don't know. I don't know all the spring training is supposed to be mid-June.
From what I read, though, it sounds like the players still aren't. I mean, there's guys still concerned about the health and still concerned about the illness, and
people are scared of this shit.
Like, they're still very hesitant to get back at it, and it's mostly a money thing. But
what
it's
happens
also
if
that
one or
too.
two of the huge players, like let's say Trout says, you know what, I don't want to play.
That's a huge.
I mean,
thing.
that's a big deal.
That's a huge
you know,
thing.
and if one or two of these guys says that they don't want to, you know, it's tough for everybody to jump on board. I think you need 100% of everybody. Like Snell saying that. I mean, what if he doesn't want to play? Now, from what I'm reading, they're gonna have like backup players. All right, so it's gonna be a 30-man squad with like what they call a 20-person taxi squad. So if some people get sick or whatever, they've got backup replacement players, and everybody's gonna be tested constantly. But if somebody gets sick, they bring in one of these people from their so-called taxi squad. It's different, but I want to see baseball.
Absolutely, everybody is, and I think it kind of goes to what you were talking about before we even started. Is who's going to be the first one? You know, who's going to be the first league to step out there and
Probably
say,
the NBA.
okay, we're going to do this? Because I think that's some of it too. I think some of these leagues are just scared to get started.
Yes.
They're scared of how they're going to
Just
proceed,
gotta-
their procedure,
But it'll be
what to
NFL or
do.
NBA because they're greedy for money. Either one of them will start.
No,
first.
not the NFL won't be the first.
I think
Billions of dollars.
No,
they're
it's
losing?
MLB or NBA.
Yeah, I
It-
think NFL will start
That's not
if
till
the MLB starts.
August,
If
September.
NBA starts.
But it's
Yeah.
Well,
because
I mean,
the
what are they
NFL
going to do? They can't. Nobody can go to
No,
California
so-
because they got to isolate for 2 weeks
Well,
before
it
they go in
leads
the state.
into it leads into the NBA. They right now the talks are pretty serious now that they're going to be the first people to actually do this, to try with no fans. They're going to test everybody. They've already calculated it's 15,000 tests so that'll get them through the end of the season. They've already got playoffs set up. They've already got all this stuff down, and I feel like that's pretty ballsy of them to be the first person.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
it
But
is.
somebody's got to do it.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm sorry, but somebody's got to open up something. And I read today, and you know, I don't want to harp on the COVID because, you know, negativity, whatever. But I did read today that all this stuff is down across the United States. You know,
Correct.
so whatever they did worked, and so now maybe it's time to try this out. Maybe it's time the NBA needs to. You know, I don't know about their bubble situation in Vegas or where exactly they're going to do it, but man, let's just get back to having some sports, man.
Yes.
For real.
Well, like you said, I
think
just
that-
it just comes down to people are just scared. The unknown scares
Sure.
people, and nobody knows how it's going to react when we start going back. It'll be extremely odd and weird to be playing basketball games without anybody in the stands. Like
Well,
I
it's-
can't
it'd
be weird.
imagine.
It sounds.
Yeah.
It sounds
I can't
like we're
imagine
gonna-
what that'll look
It sounds like
like.
we're gonna get a preview this weekend because Freddie, what up, Freddie? Just brought up a good point. He said there's soccer clubs in Europe
Yep.
starting this weekend.
Soccer is starting up again. There's a
And
bunch of them.
definitely don't try his wife's chicken.
Yeah. Oh my
You got the rice chicken?
Damn.
His wife.
Jeez.
Oh,
Love
man,
Freddie.
Freddie. I'm sorry, Christine. I did not say
I
that.
love you, Christine.
Oh, man.
I want to eat your
That's-
chicken. I'll
yeah.
taste it.
You
I
will-
love all
will-
food.
will-
You,
That's a
you've already
chicken.
you've already said it. You can't go back on it.
No, it's done.
Yeah, yeah. You-
So, yeah, we'll get away from that. Spalding, actually, this is interesting news out of the NBA. Spalding and the NBA have canceled their contract. Spalding will no longer make NBA basketballs. That is
that is weird.
That's
dude.
crazy.
isn't that awkward?
That is weird.
Like you get a ball and it's Spalding, and you're like,
Correct.
You know, it's the NBA.
Right.
What happens to all the people that have all those signatures from all these old school people with Spalding balls? Do they go up in value?
I would assume they would.
Like, you know,
I was gonna say
I mean, I
they
would assume
definitely
they
will.
would.
that'd be
yeah.
awesome. You know,
Absolutely.
You can't-
like so a basketball signed by LeBron James from Spalding, and now he signs what I assume is Wilson, is what they said. That's just interesting. That's a cool little side note for the NBA. And they've got all these facilities opening up. So they said 22 of 30 by the end of the week. So I think the NBA is heading towards opening up pretty soon. And they don't.
Looks
That's
like
exciting.
I don't think they need as
For
long
me
to get
too.
ready.
I'm sorry.
I don't think they need as long to get ready.
NBA. Well, so that's what the weird thing is. Like, they don't have basketball bodies right now. You know,
But they
they've
all
been
have-
training on their own, kind of, and they're like, you know, all of them have their own courts and
That's
whatnot
what I
at
was
their
gonna
houses.
say.
However,
Yes.
they haven't been competing.
Yes.
They're not to the same caliber or level of play
Yeah, of course.
as beginning of March or
Yeah,
whenever
they've
they
probably
started
been
going.
playing basketball at their own courts with each other.
But not-
Do y'all
I don't
remember
know.
the horse? Do y'all remember watching?
yeah.
Did y'all watch
Oh,
that
yeah.
horse
Oh,
on
yeah.
TV?
Oh, yeah.
I watched
Oh,
it.
yeah,
but
I
I
watched
did.
Yeah, I
I
watched
watched
it.
some Chris Paul.
I can watch that.
I love it.
It was actually more entertaining, but I was like, I
Awesome,
cannot
yeah.
believe I'm watching
They had
horse.
that one girl-
Somebody
Seriously.
play horse on television.
It drove me nuts because they had
I-
the one girl that was playing and she had the old school basketball backboard outside with the water on the bottom of it, and you could hit the backboard at any point in time as hard as you wanted. It went dropped in the ball.
That's
So she just hammered it against the
Nailed it.
backboard. It just dropped right in every
I know
time. I
that
was like,
you
that's
did that.
cheating.
I completely forgot about the water at the bottom.
Yeah,
to keep it
yeah,
down.
yeah.
I forgot about
That's like what we
those.
were saying too. Is that like we were sitting there? We came in as a garage to talk about the show, and there was some NASCAR or Indy racing going on
Oh,
TV, and we sit there for like 10 minutes, and then finally figure out that shit was a video game. It's like, oh my god, it looks so real.
That's how realistic it's gotten. Yeah.
And I watched Snoop Dogg lose the other day to some dude in Madden. So it's like, what am I watching this for?
This is what we're alluding to, people.
They come up with anything and everything these days to put on the television. We're trying to give, we got to come up with topics on this show too to try to entertain you.
I mean, there's a lot of sports stuff. It's not in-game action where you're actually watching and talking about the game. We're talking about the expectation or the excitement about the game, and that's what it's about. I mean, everybody's just ready to go.
And
I'm just
how-
ready to go.
A schedule is an event. A draft is an
Yeah.
event.
Correct.
All these
Right.
things are now
The
events.
littlest
Correct,
thing, the
yes.
smallest thing ever.
Woo!
And that's why with baseball, that when I know we just got done talking about that, but I'll just say I think baseball is missing an opportunity, kind of like what you were saying, to get ahead of it and pick up some people that maybe typically aren't with it. That's why the NFL is such an important league, because they're great at marketing their league. They're great at doing drafts, 3-hour schedule, 3-hour shows talking about the schedule. Like, the NFL is just on top of it. Major League Baseball needs to get
They also
with it.
got lucky with the timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of it too, but baseball could do something. They haven't done anything.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything. Yes, absolutely.
So after the NBA, well, we all know the MLB. I think NBA will be first. I really do, and then I think MLB will follow suit. I think people are just waiting to pull that trigger.
For the longest time, I was thinking the NBA was going to completely axe this year.
Me too. I was hoping they would, actually. I said it on a few of the shows. I'm like,
Yeah, we said it
this
Monday.
This is just, I mean, because it's so far gone
It's
from the
so
season.
far gone.
It's like, and then they're going to jump in, and I understand, like, what if LeBron wins a trophy, right? What if LeBron and the Lakers win an NBA trophy? Does he count that, trying to chase Jordan?
That's what I was going to say, asterisk. I feel like a lot of things might be tainted, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's how people are going to look at it. But, I mean, people are going to be happy because sports are back.
Because of sports,
So-
yeah. Now, Fox Sports News, or not Fox Sports News, but Fox News said that they're going to pump in crowd noise for these games.
saw that.
I don't know what it's going to sound like. This is all new to everybody, but I don't think that's a terrible idea.
No, I don't think it's a terrible idea. I think it's just adjustment on the fly of exactly how to handle this whole situation. They don't know what to do. They know that not having fans there will not make the environment worth playing in, at least for the guys. So pumping in crowd noise, I think, will help, but it definitely won't take over at people actually being there. I guess it'll help.
We'll see. We'll see. Oh,
On cue. Yes, I was waiting for that.
Johnny always on point.
Johnny on the spot.
I was like, we got to get the crowd noise in here.
Y'all want to
But
move
yeah.
to some NFL? There's a few things I want to go over in the NFL.
Shoot,
Lauren,
let's do it.
Lauren, you have some NFL stuff you want to go over?
Yeah, sure. We got, I mean, we got
it
a
all
couple
out.
things. And since we were talking about the draft a minute ago, I'm sorry, not the draft, the schedule, but I mean, we did mention both of them. The Texans. And what's B.O.B. got to say?
Bob's team.
It's Bob's team. Bob rules the NFL, the Houston Texans. And I think it's kind of weird because obviously we all know, like, he can't. How can he wear one hat? But
The
he has
GM
like 8 now.
and the head coach. Yes.
Do you think that other systems, other organizations are going to start following this path?
Well, I mean, I would say no because it's not proven to be worth a shit. Like, I mean, if he was winning and you're saving salary cap, or not salary cap, but just salary in general, with your head coach and it being the GM, I mean, that does save you a few $1 million. Well, then, yeah, but he's not winning. I mean, at all. If
Sure.
anything, well, I don't even say Belichick, because Belichick's not really that good of a draft. He's not notorious for being great at drafting players. He's great at like molding them into his system, but there hasn't been this situation before, and I think people are pissed off about it. We do have a head offensive coordinator now, so maybe Bill O'Brien can step back. But I mean, I don't see him GM, head coach, and offensive coordinator.
Well, I mean, so far it's been. I know this will drive Texans fans crazy, but so far I think the experiment has worked, quote unquote, because they did go to the playoffs. They were leading the Kansas City Chiefs. They were killing them until the Kansas City Chiefs decided to come back. He made some trades, obviously, that are questionable, especially most recently Hopkins. That's understandable. I get it, but we don't really know for sure 100%. Well, I mean, I'm saying I get that. I get the blowback that he's getting after the Hopkins trade, but so far, at least for the Texans, I know the goal is to win a Super Bowl. I get that, but so far it's been okay. I mean, they made the playoffs. They went a couple rounds into the playoffs. I'm not saying just give it up 100% just yet. Say it's a failed experiment.
Grant, I am so sorry, but I'm
That's
on the
fine.
other
That's
side
fine.
of the ball.
Cowboys fan.
That's
Get 'em.
fine. That's fine.
Cowboy.
Wait, what? Who's the Cowboys fan?
He's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
you're the Cowboys fan. Oh.
You understand now.
I'm that guy.
Now you understand.
Correct. You're the guy.
Well, no. Okay, don't get me wrong now, and Texans fans don't hate me either, but, like, I grew up on the Cowboys because the Oilers, given
Where
my
are they?
age, were kind of gone.
Correct, yes.
And so I grew up cheering for the Cowboys, and I still do, kind of root for them whenever they're not playing the Texans, but Texans has always been my,
Sure.
number one,
I can
especially
understand
cheering for them and, being part of the organization.
Yes.
But I think I got to stop you there because I feel like you said, they've gotten a few championships, AFC South, whatever. I feel like you're getting pennies.
Yeah.
And you're just counting up your pennies to make $1.
Yes.
But never bring up another divisional banner. Like, that's getting annoying.
Yes.
I totally understand.
We won when VCRs were still out.
I totally get that. Go ahead.
I kind of want Kubiak back,
You want
I would
Kubiak
take
back?
him.
Jesus.
I'd take him.
I don't think he'd take him back.
No. Let's stop with
Over
these
Bob?
old-ass
Yeah,
coaches.
over Bob.
You got young Deshaun Watson, all this young talent. Like, these young coaches are coming in. Let's get somebody that the players respect and enjoy or being around because
Let's
look,
make Brian Cushing the coach.
the whole thing is, like, nobody respected. Bill O'Brien got traded Hopkins, right? And Hopkins had a bunch of blowback. Then Michael Irvin came out saying that Hopkins was pissed off. There was some racial stuff going on. Then he called him, he called him Hernandez, Aaron Hernandez. It just, I don't think that Bill O'Brien has the respect of these kids. Like, I just don't. And these are kids. Let's not get it wrong. I mean, these are 20 to 25 to 26-year-old kids that are
Right.
playing, and you got this old-ass man that's bossing them around, picking and telling them where to go. And I just think the NFL's moving to kind of like a flag football league, and Bill O'Brien's not about that. And he's got Deshaun Watson.
That's true. But it's like I said, Bill O'Brien, I think you and I had talked about this previously. Bill O'Brien, the chunk it downfield, even though he has Deshaun Watson, like you said, he'd think it would work. That's not his game. When you look at his history as far as how he coaches, he's a run-oriented guy, and he thinks
Yes.
at least that he went and got somebody on the fairly cheap, I guess you could say.
In regards to Johnson.
That's
Yeah.
right. In regards to Johnson, that's going to make an impact that he feels is necessary for teams that he's coaching. So, yes, getting rid of Hopkins, absolutely. Why would he do that? Doesn't make any sense. I get all that. But I think he's setting up for wanting to give Deshaun Watson all the money that he wants and run a kind of offense that he favors. And I think that's what he did.
You know who I think should be the head coach?
Who?
Andre Johnson.
Oh,
Man,
Hey,
stick to
what's
the
going on
Facebook.
Facebook? Hey, Dimitri, what's going on Facebook, man? Check that out.
Yeah, guys, talk to us.
check
Got
that
any
out.
questions for us?
He shut his mic off. Good job, Johnny.
Leave your comments on that.
I'm just saying it's not a failed experiment 100% just yet. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
okay.
saying.
I mean, sure. Lauren?
As far as Watson, goes, they're supposed to come to some, agreement this summer, right?
Correct.
Because he's in his last year. And if not, all this hypothetical talk about going to the Patriots and whatnot next season, I know Houston would just it would strike them just like it did Hopkins' deal. But as far as looking at this schedule and this season, it worries me for Watson and his legs, and we know that scramblers don't last as long.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So, giving it to Johnson would not be such a bad deal, instead of just, like you said, running the ball. That's what you said Bill O'Brien has coached in the past. So hopefully he gets back into that routine, lets a little off of Watson, and we'll make a good run for it in that kind of game.
Looking at the schedule,
hey.
like you
But
said,
as far as
Sorry, Mark Boardman said real quick, let's move on from the Texans. We have better things to talk about, y'all.
Mark Bergman.
Mark Boardman.
Mark Boardman.
Oh,
Board-
Boardman.
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say, whoa. we got some-
Ask Mark what he wants to talk about.
What do you want to
Tyson,
talk about, Mark?
Holyfield.
Yeah, what do you want to-
we're getting into all that in a little bit, but I wanted to say, like, the Texans schedule. If you look at it, I think the first 3 or 4 games are. I mean, we open up with the Chiefs. Ouch. And then it gets. There's like 3 or 4 games there that are really hard. We have possibility of going 0-3 or 0-4, and then it lightens up. So I think the Texans probably will push for, winning the division. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe 9 and 8.
Well, I was gonna
Somewhere in
ask you.
there.
Here's a question. Vegas, I saw, have them their win total 8.5. So are you over that or under that?
Yeah, that's why I said 9 and 8. So I would go. Man, they're spot on.
Vegas always is for the
Yeah,
most
always
part.
is.
Man, I would go over. I really would.
You go
'Cause I think
over?
9 or 10 because of the division.
Mark Boardman said Tyson for sure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get to Tyson in a minute.
I was just going to say, I think that if they can get through the first part of the season, those first 7 games, and then they hit that bye week, it'll be easier the second half and then leading into the playoffs. Because, like you said, opening up Kansas City, who shut them down on their way to the Super Bowl, going against Lamar Jackson and Baltimore. I think they, can go against Tannehill in Tennessee. Green Bay, a little hard. So I think they have a first half is pretty hard. But once they get through that,
Yeah. So you pulled
They
it
can
up,
sail
and
through.
like the first 7 games, if they go 3 and 4, I'll be happy. Or 4 and 3. I mean, you get Kansas City, Baltimore, back to back. Ouch. Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Jacksonville. You could win all 3 of those, maybe not. Then Tennessee, Green Bay. If you go 4 and 3 in the first 7 before the bye week, not bad.
Correct. Yes. Absolutely.
I'll take
Right.
that.
Absolutely.
I'll take that for
Absolutely.
sure.
I would just be patient as far as the Bill O'Brien thing goes. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Be
He might have
patient.
something up his sleeve.
You never know. You never know.
You posted something to the sports page the other day, Dimitri, with Holyfield and the "I'm back."
Yeah.
You see this? You see this?
Oh, I saw it. Absolutely. It's crazy.
People were saying he
Okay.
looks dangerous.
I love
He
to see
looks
old people
violent,
box. It's
but he's
awesome.
like this. He's like.
It looks like.
like-
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, yeah.
Look.
He said, I'm back.
Now, okay.
I'm back.
Now, at the very beginning of this, when this whole thing started a few weeks ago, of course, who doesn't want to see Tyson and Holyfield? Now, I'm not sure if I want to see that.
No, Tyson would kill him. It wouldn't even be funny.
I'm out on this, guys. I don't know if I
Well,
It's totally a guy.
She's like,
thing.
I'm not a violent
I-
person. I don't know.
sports with balls. There's no balls in it. Well, on the
good
field.
point. Good point.
So I don't know.
Good point.
There's definitely some balls in the ring.
No, I don't have any interest in watching over 50-year-old people box each other. I have no interest in that
Tyson
whatsoever.
looks, fit, dude. He looks good.
Yes,
I would
he
pay for
does.
him to
God.
listen. They're probably going to set him up with a couple of warm-up fights that he's going to kill some dudes,
Oh,
right? And it's going to make
destroy.
it be entertaining. You're going to be like, oh shit, this guy can bite. He
Mm-hmm.
can box again. So
Did you hear about the Thriller in Brownzilla?
what?
Yeah, he's gonna fight the other fighter from the Browns area where he's from in New York, and they're gonna have a boxing
Tyson is.
exhibition 4-round. Yeah,
I'll have to
Tyson.
look- I'll have
is,
to
yeah.
look that up.
Yeah, I'll tell you the guy's name.
Yeah, but like I said, they're going to have warm-up fights for him and probably for Holyfield, a couple of them. But people are going to pay to watch that Tyson Holyfield. They will. Because, first of all, you just pay to watch
be
Mike
me.
Tyson knock the shit out of somebody.
It won't be me.
Yes.
It won't be me.
You can come over to the house. We'll have a sports with
It won't
balls
be
party
me.
over at the house. Everybody can come over and.
Heck, I don't think I would watch it, but after what I said
You
earlier, I
wouldn't
watched horse.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
NBA players
True.
watching horse. I
Anything
mean,
is possible
true.
right now.
anything is possible. You put your mind to it.
Again, though, I mean, when you go into the same thing like boxing with no fans. I mean, I don't know if that's. Look, we just got to get fans. Like, somehow, fans got to give it back. And I went to get my hair cut today. Obviously,
Looks nice, by the way.
Looking good.
Thank
Looks
you.
good. Nice
Thank
and
you.
clean.
Yeah,
So
it
fresh and
looks
so
nice.
clean.
And, they took my temperature at the haircut place. I had to wear a mask, and they took my
Wow.
temperature before I could sit out.
Dude,
And I was like, that was my first experience of like being in public where they're like, hold on, like, you know. So
that's crazy.
immediately I think of if they're gonna walk in the rings, are they gonna take people's temperature?
Yeah. Well, what I saw was there was a company on like 2020 or one of them the other day, and they're basically like sales are through the roof of everybody ordering those thermal cameras. So as soon as you walk in, it checks your temperature, and if you're bad or high, it'll sound an alarm. When
So you're in
anybody
trouble
walks
then,
in.
brother.
So, like,
No,
what if
I'm
you
good.
have
98.5, my man. I'm perfect. 98.5.
about to say, what if you have the heater on in your car? What if you're outside?
trouble.
You can't walk through
71.
anywhere, D. Too high, brother.
Man, dude. Left and right. Jabs, like Tyson jabs.
There you go. But, you know, I mean, listen, I would watch that fight. I'm going to watch Tyson fight anybody because it's just Mike Tyson. There's not a person that I know that wouldn't love seeing him come out of that tunnel with those black shorts on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to that
Those
music,
black
it's like,
shoes.
oh, my gosh.
It'd
dude,
be
like-
nice. I mean, it'd be fun to see him get back out there. But man, if he's gonna fight Holyfield, I'm out on that.
I don't think that would be.
Holyfield would
First
get.
of all, they better not sanction that. I wanted it at the very beginning, like I said, but now watching Holyfield, I'm like, that's not normal, dude. He doesn't look right.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Tyson hits him one good time, that dude might not get up.
I mean, just think about the prelims. Whenever they get all hyped up and run up there and run up on the ring, and they bend through the
Mikey.
ropes. Like, is he even going to be able to do any of
No,
that?
no.
How's he going to get in there?
Yeah, they
They're gonna have to put a ladder so he
no,
can get
they'll
a
have to
ladder and
unhook
step
the
over
rope.
there.
Unhook the ropes.
unhook the ropes.
Absolutely.
Nobody's watching that.
You know, get one of those scissor lifts. Get one of those scissor lifts and get him up and he
Cherry
up
picker.
and down. Yeah, absolutely,
Dude,
for sure.
He's gonna get on the show and kick our ass.
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck you motherfucking say?
That's
I'm talking about Holyfield. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about Mike.
Mike,
Oh,
Mike's
I
gonna
was
get
talking about
through.
Mike. I don't want Mike mad at me.
No, Mr. Tyson. I'm sorry if you think it
Yeah,
was
I'm
you.
so sorry too.
No. So another thing that bothered me about this week, as far as sports wise, I talked to Lauren about it a little bit yesterday, was the NCAA. It's not getting a lot of action right now. People don't understand this, but the NCAA is canceling seasons left and right.
Yes.
It's not the big ones. You're talking about lacrosse, you're talking about soccer, women's soccer, stuff like that, but they are canceling stuff all over the place. And
Yeah.
man, nobody's talking about NCAA football, and the market the money that generates is unbelievable, and they're going to lose. I think they've already canceled the first game of the season, which was Alabama USC.
At least that's the talk. They've talked that could happen. Absolutely. Yes. And
I
it's
mean-
because of California's rule that they
Yes.
made in relation to school.
That's what I'm like wondering. So like, you know, everything is by state, not by the governor,
Yeah.
not by federal. So what happens whenever you have, you know, 30 states, 28 states, and everyone's on board, and then
Right.
you have those one or two that can't play? Like, do you just say, oh, you're just not gonna play
They're
the
gonna,
season,
from what
and
I
everyone
hear,
else is
they're
gonna continue?
reschedule. They're gonna instead of USC, Alabama's gonna play somebody else. You know, in a state that is practicing, probably somebody in Florida, Texas, or something like that. I mean, I think the idea goes back to what we were saying earlier: is just get sports back. But with all that being said, like getting it back is one thing, but who you're gonna play is a different thing. Just like we were talking about with Major League Baseball and the Astros. Their schedule is completely different. We're not going to be playing all these other teams. We're not even playing teams in our like so-called division because they're in states that aren't open. You know, we want all these sports back, but it's in a like you're talking about no fans, and we're going to be playing teams over and over and over and over again.
Well, it's like they said, you have your Power 5 conferences, and one of the conferences that's going to be affected, they say that could potentially not play until the spring is the Pac-12.
Pac-12, yep.
So how does that work?
California
so
and
if
Oregon.
let's just say the Pac-12 wants to cancel and play in spring, who do they play?
Right.
Like if the other
Yep.
teams have played in fall, then who do they play in spring?
Yeah, I mean, there's,
That's what I'm saying. Do they just like cancel it if there's not anyone to play?
Right.
Or do they quarantine for 2 weeks before they go to California and quarantine
You
for
know-
2 weeks after they leave? You know, there's gonna be weird stipulations for each state too. You know, it's gonna
All
be,
of these, I mean, of course, all of these things all of them come into play, and you just don't know. And that's why it's so important for the first conference or first teams or first league to actually get started. We need one league to get going, and let's see what happens. Like, I mean, does it turn out good? Does the no fans thing work? Does you testing players work? Listen, if the NBA starts, what are the odds that one of those people are going to have or get the virus?
I mean, it started with Gobert.
Yeah.
And let me just touch everything.
Yeah. Touch all the mics. Hold on, let me touch all your mics.
I mean, you're right. Whatever league that it's going to be, they're going to learn from, and they're going to make mistakes, and of course they're going to get hammered. That's
Yep.
just how it's going to go.
So
but
who's the
it's going to
first
get
one?
it started.
Yeah.
Who's gonna
for
be
sure.
it?
Well, and that's what I saw is the thing that they're thinking about with the NFL is, so let's say a defensive lineman has it. So then does that mean that all the other defensive linemen on the team can't play? Or they have to sit
test
out?
them. They're just testing them
Yeah.
daily.
Or
Please
if,
isolate
but I'm
the
saying
one.
if they test positive, do they isolate that guy? Do they get rid of the unit? What if you played against an offensive lineman and the offensive lineman potentially had it? Do they sit? I mean, there's all kinds of things that you have to think about
Sure.
when you start having all these rules like that.
But
Exactly.
So you don't want to get into. I mean, we're not going to get into. I mean,
point.
man, we could sit here for hours and
But
talk
that's what I'm
about
saying.
what's
There's
gonna
all
happen.
kinds of
It's just-
scenarios that
I
can
just
play
want
out.
one league. Look, Freddie brought it up earlier on Facebook. Soccer's starting up. Let's go. Let's see what happens. So
Yeah.
good for them. You know, the
Exactly.
European League starting up, and they're look,
UFC was successful.
You know, yeah, UFC's been.
Without
I mean,
no fans?
They tested one guy and he was positive, so he
Yeah.
got out. So
Yeah.
let's see how the soccer goes.
Yeah.
Soccer goes good. Then maybe open up the NBA. NBA goes
Yeah.
good, and then all of a sudden start bringing some fans back.
Yeah,
You know?
and I don't know if you noticed, but all UFC did was freaking just not put cameras on the seats.
Hey, dude, some dude
they
last
just
night,
kept it on the fights. No shots of empty.
Did anybody
seats or
watch those
nothing.
UFC fights last night? I did not, but I
I
saw
heard it was
something.
good.
Some dude got his face broken.
I heard that.
Like, I mean, like the guy was laying on the ground, knocked out, and the guy walked up and just broke his face.
Yeah.
The ref didn't stop the fight, and Freddie, I'm sure can pull it up. He's at UFC, but it was brutal.
Yeah,
I mean,
I heard it was
brutal. But you know, good for UFC for starting up, and let's hope the NFL. Oh, here it is.
So that's Anthony Smith, teeth knocked out, face broken, and violent
Wow.
loss.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty violent.
Yeah,
That's pretty violent.
Teeth knocked out
and
Oh,
face
God.
broken.
That's pretty violent.
Just
Not only-
letting you know, this is all from TMZ. So
Credible sports news.
Yeah.
TMZ. Yeah.
But I mean, TMZ. I love TMZ.
No, they do good news. It's just it's weird to get your sports from TMZ.
Well,
it's
I
just
just
weird.
remember when Kobe, God bless all of that, but when
They
he went
broke
down,
the
they kept coming out with
Yeah.
different news, like, oh, his whole family was on it. It was just his daughter. It was just him. Just like, okay, what's going on here, guys?
Right.
But I mean, I do like TMZ.
Okay, speaking of TMZ,
Just
I mentioned this
gotta
to y'all, and
get
I
it.
put it on Facebook today about this Kardashian thing. This is because Laura and I were talking about this yesterday. How many athletes do you think the Kardashians have dated? Just Grant, you just throw out a number, Grant. What do you think?
I would probably say, just off the top of my head, 5.
5 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's might be one.
High
of
or
them.
low?
Oh wait, so Johnny, you
You're
know,
low.
producer?
No, Johnny doesn't know.
Johnny
I
doesn't
do
know?
have
Oh,
it.
okay.
Is this like The Price is Right?
Dimitri,
Like,
Dimitri,
closest without
Dimitri,
going
how
over?
many do you think? Don't be looking it up either.
I would guess and say.
On the mic.
yeah, we're doing a show, man.
I would say 30.
Oh, jeez.
There's a lot of Kardashians.
Way to the
There's
whole court.
and there's a lot of basketball players.
We're not talking about the dad or whatever.
Oh my God!
I thought you were talking about mom and dad.
Talk about keeping up with the
Wow.
Kardashians.
Oh my God,
Gave
30.
him wow, that was a good number.
Wow, Lauren, where you at?
Well, you know, we kind of
Do you
talked
know the
about
answer?
it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Well, you know the answer.
Safe, right?
6?
Yeah.
That's the athletes, all of them.
I thought so.
Oh, you're way off.
I'm way off.
That's just Khloe.
Oh, that's just Chloe.
That's just Khloe Kardashian is 6.
Hold on. So you've got it broken down per
Yes.
girl that
Yes.
has. Wow.
I've
That's-
got 3 of them.
That's what you call.
I've got Kendall,
breaking it down.
Chloe,
right there.
and
Due
Kim.
diligence.
I think the
Yes.
other ones are with rappers, and we're not a rap show, or we're not doing that. So,
No.
yeah,
hip
because
hop
one was
artists.
Travis Scott. Like Kylie Jenner was with. I have a story about that. I remember
Listen,
with the Rockets.
you got Kendall Jenner, Chris Parsons, Brandon Russell, Jordan Clarkson, Blake Griffin, and Ben Simmons. That's just her. That's 5 with Kendall. And I believe she's only 21 years old or something.
Wait. Blake Griffin?
Yep.
I thought he dated Kim for some reason.
We haven't gotten to her yet.
So he's dated both
the
of
old
them.
one.
He's dated more than one Kardashian.
Chloe's the
Hold
gangster.
on.
Chloe's
We're
the
not there
gangster
yet.
with Rashad McCants, Lamar Odom, James Harden, Tristan Thomas, Derek Ward, and Rick Fox.
Chris Humphries.
Yeah, well, that's Kim. We're not to her yet.
We're not
Okay,
there yet.
sorry. I'm out on this. I'm out.
Gustavo said 17.
17. Right now, I have 15. Because you
Okay.
got Kim with.
Gustavo's probably right.
Yeah, because Gus up there in L.A., he probably knows better than anybody. But
Yeah.
I got Kim with Reggie Bush, Ronaldo, Chris Humphries, and Miles Austin.
Damn.
And I
Former
know there's
Cowboy.
more. Look, this is just 15.
Cowboy.
15 athletes are basketball and NFL players. Just between 3 sisters.
They like sports.
That's crazy.
Holy, I mean,
Well, here's a question. Do you think they actually sat down and watched whoever they were dating play whatever sport they were playing?
no, I think that it was more or less like a, hey, I know so-and-so. And so brought their friend over. You
But
know,
I'm saying,
like-
so
I'm with
So
Mike. I'm with
Kim-
Mike Scarborough. He said 69. I'm kind of in that level.
That's a good one, Mike.
where's the rim
Yes,
shot on that one? But I'm saying, let's say Kim Kardashian is dating Reggie Bush. Is she sitting down and watching a NFL game from beginning to end?
Oh,
Hi.
No.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I don't think that's their thing.
Is she even watching 10 minutes of it?
No.
See,
Yes. I say yes.
You say yes?
I say that she has to watch her man.
That'd be the question. Is if
Now, if you
they
asked her where
actually
he-
watch the
where he
sport?
went
She
to
might have it
college?
on TV, but she don't watch.
Where he went to college, I bet she doesn't know.
Look, if I was dating an athlete, of course I would watch their game, but that's me.
We didn't.
Well, I was
get
going to say, that's
Hey,
you.
not a
Yeah,
Kardashian.
we didn't get to
absolutely.
you yet. we
That's
could pull
the
up
secret
Lauren
envelope
Leal.
we
We could
got,
pull
yeah.
this. We were leading there.
Yeah.
We could pull up Lauren Leal.
This is the Maury Povich part of the show.
No, but like it's funny because I'll joke around with my brother who, huge Rockets fan, and he's like, no, don't come to James. It's the Kardashian curse. Like once they start dating one, they start going down.
Oh, so he thinks. Oh man.
their game is not their game's not good.
I mean, true. And listen, the reason I bring this up is there's some TMZ. I'm a fanatic for any kind of sports news or any kind of news in general that comes on, and like Tristan Thompson apparently has a baby with another lady that claims that it's his. It's just more Kardashian drama. But I was like, you know what? I want to see how many athletes these girls are tied to.
No, that's a
And
good
It is
question.
phenomenal. I mean, just
a lot.
Google it, and it's like, are you kidding me? There's some
Yeah.
that like their mom set them up just on one night dates and stuff like that. There's more, but those were just like the bigger names. Like I forgot about Rick Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, my
Rick
goodness,
Fox is an old cat, isn't he? How old
Yeah.
is Rick Fox?
He got to be in his 50s now, I would think.
Let's see about this.
But I thought, that was so. Bringing that up, did anybody get a
50?
chance to see 50? How,
50,
50 exactly.
Oh, guess what? His
There you
birthday's
go.
the same day as mine. July 24th.
July 24th
Yeah.
coming up.
Yep.
That's impressive,
Oh,
Dimitri.
wow.
It is
That's
awesome.
great.
That is,
Hey, shouts out Rick Fox. Birthday,
Hey, you
bro.
got an icebreaker when you see him.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Dude,
guys
that same birthday.
did y'all catch the video of Johnny Manziel trying to do the backflip?
Oh
Yes.
my God, what a douche.
I love Johnny Manziel.
I
You
didn't.
do?
I didn't see
love
it.
Johnny, man. I really do.
I like him.
Dude, people hate on him, and look, I hate the Aggies, bro. Like I can't stand them. I'm from UT. I can't stand the
Hook 'em.
Aggies. But watching him
Hell
play
yeah,
college
hook 'em.
football, watching him play college football was amazing.
Hey, that
was.
year that he won the Heisman, all props to Johnny Manziel.
Mm-hmm.
That dude dominated college football. He dominated the best college football coach in the history of college football
Agreed.
in his home, in
Yes.
his stadium. Like, respect for that. After that, though, woo,
I mean,
that dude,
we need to have a Johnny Manziel segment
Yeah.
once a
that
week,
cat
man.
went south
real
quick.
quick on the Kardashian thing. Gus said that remember Kris Jenner hooked up with OJ too. So that's an
Oh, the ultimate.
That's the biggest one yet. No, I was just talking about the kids, but yeah. I mean, whoa.
Wow.
Dude, we're gonna get in so much shit on this show.
The ultimate. The
Sports with
ultimate.
balls for sure. Like, damn, we just dogged the shit out of like 17 athletes.
Yeah.
But so, and then this is why I love Johnny Manziel. Right after that, it went viral. Like that video went viral, and he posted on Twitter this jump went just about how my NFL career went.
Hey, at least you got a sense of humor.
And at the end of the video, he goes, flawless execution.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta love that. I mean, that guy. Look, people talk all the trash they want about Johnny. I loved watching him that year. I thought he was flat out phenomenal.
He was
Johnny Football.
fantastic. Fantastic. After that, not so much.
Yeah, anybody who gets the name Johnny Football has to be pretty fucking good.
Dude, that year he was watching him
Oh,
versus
it was
Alabama. That
unbelievable.
was just
amazing.
unreal.
It was unbelievable.
And I just don't. Oh, speaking of Johnny Manziel, this just popped in my head with the A&M UT. So they
so real quick, and then Gus said, and then she married Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
Another athlete.
yeah, God, dude, we should have a whole segment on
Yeah.
that. Right? How do you go from
That goes
OJ
another
to
rabbit
Bruce
hole.
Jenner?
To Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner.
that goes
Oh,
down
sorry.
a rabbit hole
Now
right
she's
there.
lesbian.
dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
we can.
Now she's a lesbian by
Look,
committee.
our producers like, y'all shut the fuck up.
All right. He's like, next
about to
topic,
get in,
please.
we're about to get in trouble. But,
Where's the all mics off button?
yeah, like,
Yeah,
you gotta-
Yeah.
Johnny takes over. Yeah, we're here.
They had the UT and A&M haven't played in a very long time, and that was the in-state rival forever and ever and ever.
Yes,
And people used to love going to that game. So, the A&M, because they're in the SEC now, A&M president tried to reach out to UT to get a game scheduled between them.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you can pull this up. The the response from the UT president was like basically fuck off. Something about like next time, wait until you win a championship before you come try to play us. And it's it's so obnoxious because it's like not like UT's been that amazing.
But that's what I was gonna say. He needs to slow down with that.
Yeah.
'Cause Texas hasn't necessarily been rocking it for
They
the last.
haven't. They haven't done a ton at
Yeah.
all.
But that was the greatest. I watched that game. That game. It was Colt's brother brought him back down the field in College Station. When that
Which
last
one?
time it was the last time they played
Okay.
in College Station. And Justin Tucker, Ravens kicker,
Yep.
kicked that field goal to win it.
Yep.
I remember that.
It's the greatest night of
What
my
would
life.
you say?
man.
is-
Greatest night of my life.
Other than 05 when Vince Young won it and
Yeah.
won the national championship.
They had that Rose Bowl replay
I know.
not
It
too
was-
long ago.
Oh my
tough,
gosh. That was
It was great.
I sat watching that game when they were losing, and I told my wife at the time, I said, why can't any of my teams ever win anything?
Your wife at the time or your wife still?
My wife still.
Okay.
Did I say at the time?
I'm not trying to get you in
Sorry,
trouble.
man.
I wasn't going to go there.
Sorry, babe.
Let's get the camera on him so he can apologize.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew
man.
I saw a
This
ring.
one goes out to my wife. I'm texting right
My
now.
wife at the
Hey,
time.
I'm sorry if you listen to that. That was a mistake.
What do you think's the last great
Grant
Texas
won't be on the
team?
show next week.
The last great Texas team? It was that one.
Oh,
It,
06?
it was that one. That team that won the national championship. That team should not have won that game. And Vince Young won that game for them.
I tell you what, man. I was with my buddy Blay, and I remember we went to a bar. I had to go to work at Escobar that night, and we went to a bar because we were watching it at the house, and I thought the game was over.
Yeah.
And so it's only about 15 minutes down the road, and I started getting text messages about, hey, man, are you watching this? Are you watching this? So we
Yeah.
pulled over at this little bar, and they had it on the big screen on the patio. And we go out there, and we're just watching. The next 20 minutes, I was like, holy shit, is this happening?
Right.
Like the dude just, it was phenomenal. And I'm friends with Vince, now in Houston because he comes out a lot, and we see him every now and then. He's a staple in the Houston community, but
Is he coming on?
I don't know. Maybe I might
Yo,
be able
Vince.
to reach out.
BY, come on, brother.
Get it. Come on and do it. I did talk to a few people. I'm not gonna line it up for everybody yet, but I do know that we're having a Veterans Day show. I don't want to tell you guys any more than that. We've got a few other local celebrities coming on, and the show's only gonna get better, man. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love talking sports with you guys and bullshitting. It's amazing.
Lauren, what school are you? What college are you?
I went to U of H. Go
Okay.
Cougs, baby.
U of H, all right.
Now, I did grow up on the Longhorns.
Okay.
So,
Good.
Nice.
I can relate to y'all. But, yeah, I'm a Coug through and through. That's for sure. Have y'all ever been to the Red River Showdown or Shootout?
Yes, of course.
You know that they
Never
changed
been.
it not that long ago?
Yeah.
I've never been.
I always
Oh,
wanted
man.
to.
Oh,
I've
so
been in
much
fights
fun.
at bars
The
because
Cotton Bowl.
I dated a girl. Oh man, she ended up marrying one of my good friends. This is a long story, but I'll make it really short. And so she went to SMU, so I would go and stay with her at SMU. And so every time we had the Red River Shootout, we go there, and man, you go out to these bars in Dallas, and it is
That's-
exactly what they say it is. It is a disaster. Like, I mean, whatever color you're wearing, stick with your little group, man, because once you go to the restroom, once you get out of it, I mean, you're fucked. Like, I mean, it is immediate fighting. And, you know, it's college kids they have nickel beer night at so-called bar in
Holy
Dallas,
man.
Texas. And so these
Holy
guys are
shit.
absolutely just, I mean, it's a nightmare. But it's fun. It's fun going to the game. It's divided completely down the middle.
Yeah.
And it is,
It's awesome.
it's a blast. Now, I will tell you, I hate going to Aggie games because they won't let you sit the fuck down.
I was literally about to say that. They won't let you sit down and you have to hold the towel the entire time.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, can I please sit down now?
That's
Because
funny.
I dated someone who went to A&M, so we went to
I'm
a
sorry.
lot of those games. I know. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Appreciate it.
I know.
So
Yeah.
sorry if you're watching out there. 'cause
What's
I'm
his
so
name?
cordial
What's
with
his
you.
name?
We ain't gonna go there.
What's the name of the Texas Tech game where they used to do the bonfire?
We had
Texas Tech, the
A&M did the bonfire.
That's what I'm saying.
The Rash?
The A&M,
The Raider Rash?
The big one that they did with the bonfire.
I mean, I don't know.
it
I
was
don't know. the
always
name of it.
Texas Tech.
I'll tell you one thing about the A&M game I did go to a couple times. Like, you know, you're supposed to kiss the girl next to you if they score a touchdown, right? So I'm with buddies of mine.
I feel like that's any game though. Right?
I like your style, Lauren.
dude, we're going to have massive people like, Lauren, want to go to a game?
We should go to a game. We should go to a game together.
Yeah,
sometime.
slow down. We already got Grant in trouble with his wife. And now Lauren's going to have dates everywhere.
And I know
She's gonna get a
I know
ton
the
of
cameraman.
contacts.
I know the cameraman, so I can get us on the kiss cam and everything.
Oh, my God.
Lauren's gonna
Hey,
get
I know
blown
him
up with
too, and
tickets
I'll
to go to
say no.
games.
Dude, OJ's going to call in. We're
Just a
fine.
cheek.
Yeah.
I got a wife. Just a cheek.
Lauren, you're gonna get messages. I got tickets to a game. If you want to go?
Lauren's phone number is...
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's ever fans in the stands.
It's
so.
yeah.
Right
Johnny,
here.
can we put Lauren's phone number on the screen? Yeah.
No lie, getting a lot of texts right now.
Way to go, Lauren. Oh, man. I think it's Lauren Leal at Gmail. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I don't even know what it is.
Probably is. You messed it
I
up.
don't even know.
Just
No,
give like the first parts of
I
the
tried
number
to
and
pull
not
her
the
up
last
on
two
Google,
digits
and then it
see if
ended up
people
with
can
some
figure it
girl
out.
with a motorcycle accident, like broke her leg on a motocross. And I was like, how cool is this chick, right? So she's in a motocross, you know, and she like broke her leg trying to do a motocross jump. I was like, this girl's amazing. And then come to find out, she's like, no, that wasn't me. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah, definitely
Shit.
just, yeah.
The video I posted. Yeah.
Well, I do have to ask
Sorry about
Lauren.
that, Jeff.
I hope it's not weird to ask this question, but do you have
Can't get much weirder than what's going on.
do you have people, guys that are just obnoxious with you when it comes to just wanting to
interviewing?
talk? Yeah, just wanting to interview, just wanting to talk. Like, do you have anybody that's just
like
crazy
athletes on the
obnoxious with
field,
you?
athletes on the field that are like real, maybe aggressive. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so we're talking about like in the arena and the stadium.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
When you're doing- when you're
I'm
doing-
not
Like
talking
I
about
get
that.
messages all the time.
When you're
like,
doing
please-
on-field interviews.
Yes, when you're doing
When you do all the
on-field
on-field interviews with the soccer players and football players and stuff like that, is there uncomfortable situations?
Not really. They're really respectful.
They're pretty
Like,
professional?
At least for me.
I bet you
Yeah.
there's some Facebook stalkers though.
Oh, I
Well,
can't.
I
No,
mean-
but Chico.
I was gonna say I was wondering what you were referring to,
Yeah.
whether it was online or not, because I get messages constantly, and whew, what's on some of those messages are not all that great. And
Hey, maybe
Yeah,
we
guys.
can
but
do a
everyone that I've
segment.
worked with is pretty
Lauren,
professional.
the
That's good.
LL's messages, and we can just go through those whack ones, you know.
Oh,
we can
dude.
read them. I'll read them to you,
Okay.
and I'll
Well,
be like, "Here you go.
I'll
This
tell you-
dude over here in British Columbia says,
Right.
Lauren Leal, I would love to go horseback riding with you." Like, yeah, here's some random, whatever.
I will say I've gotten like it was like last week I got a message from a guy that it was like the most flat out obvious message that you could say. Lauren Leal, you're a sports reporter that reports on sports.
That's
That's
it.
it.
That was it.
That's end of sentence. I was like, oh, okay, thanks,
Well,
bro.
wait.
That's good.
Did you respond?
Yeah, exactly. Crickets. No,
Have you ever had any that you respond to?
not really.
Not really.
Dude, somebody go to Lauren Leal's page and message her and tell her that you have Aggies tickets. The first game that they're back, take Lauren Leal to a Texas A&M game. Actually, she'll probably be on the field, so that'd be hard for anybody to take her. She could take us. Shit, I'm down.
Yeah, I guess that would be the
Just
deal
send
for
it
you.
out.
You can't be impressed by tickets because you pretty much
Yeah.
got the best seat in the house. Like, look, dude, I got these tickets first, up in the bottom section. You're like, dude, I'll be on the field.
I want to
so
jump
yeah.
back to one thing
I'll be
real
working
quick.
there, yeah.
We're
Yeah.
we're running up against it, but we missed one thing that I want to talk about real quick because it's still out there. Cam Newton. Okay, does anybody? Where's he gonna go?
Well, here's my question.
Miami, Seattle, or I think Pittsburgh. There's somewhere in those lines. He's got to go somewhere soon.
I guess it's two questions. Where would he go? Where do you predict he'll go, and where do you think he'll go?
If he goes to Miami, he can help out Tua. Lead, kind of help.
Well,
him
they already
along
have
his thing.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was just this is what's out there. If he goes to Seattle, he's not going to beat Russell Wilson. Where's Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod's in San Diego.
In San Diego. So that's the other landing spot to where there would actually be a quarterback battle, maybe.
Well, and that's the thing you got to figure out is who needs a guy like Cam right now? Because most guys already have their starting quarterback in place. So where's he going to go to be able to compete to play? Because he's not going to want to go somewhere to be a backup.
He's not going to be a backup, and that's going to be the problem. He's going to have to step behind somebody, and that's when I was referring to the Raiders. I think he would go behind Carr.
How old is Cam? 31?
Cam's 31, I believe.
31?
Yeah. He's 31, so he's not.
He's still got 4 or 5
settle.
really good years.
Yeah, he's still got time.
Dude,
He's still got time. Disregard last
this
season.
This sounds shitty, dude. Bring him to Houston. You want to talk about? We just talked about Deshaun Watson running around. If you have Cam Newton as your backup, you don't lose a step.
I like it.
I don't think.
Well, we never know what Bill's going to do, so.
Well,
He's going to make Cam a receiver.
What I don't understand, I don't understand why Chicago hasn't picked him up yet. That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
Cam Newton on the Chicago Bears, that would be dangerous.
Yeah.
They can't honestly go into the season thinking Mitch Trubisky is their guy. No way. There's no way.
Just you'd have to look at how. I mean, I don't know off the top how much they've paid him. What their guarantees are with him, but. Just that situation with Cam has got to end here pretty soon, I would think. He's got to go somewhere because, so NFL expanded the virtual practices and stuff like that till the end of May. And then they're starting, in June where you can go to facilities.
Right.
Okay, so you would think that by June or at least by mid-June, Cam has got to have a landing spot somewhere. Or I think you brought this up when you were on the show the last time. He can wait out till somebody gets hurt.
He waits till a couple games in the season, early in the season. Someone gets hurt, he steps right in, boom. The only problem would just be learning all the play calls, but he could pick it up.
Go back up Derek Carr.
Exactly. That's what I said. I think that would be the perfect scenario.
So
he has what, two more years.
I
on
say
his,
San
on his,
Diego.
career?
You say
On
Las
his
Vegas. She says Las Vegas.
Well, the problem with San
You
Diego
say
is
maybe Chicago if it.
I don't understand why Chicago hadn't. Like I said, I don't get it. Now
I
they
think
got
as a
Nick.
Foles.
Well, they got Nick Foles, so whatever. But
Everybody, it's so strange that like backup quarterbacks now are getting paid so much, and everybody has one. Like Cam Newton, with the MVP of the NFL at only 31 years old, is not signed anywhere.
it's nuts.
That is that's insane.
Well, I made the claim that a bunch of people thought I was crazy when it comes to the Cowboys is don't sign
I
Dak.
thought we went the entire fucking show without
I
that.
know.
dude.
I was hoping.
Fuck, man, we had 3 more minutes.
Topo Chico.
Honestly, I was going to allude to it too, so you go ahead, Grant.
Well, I was just going to say,
Let's
you
Cowboys.
can save money by going and getting somebody like Cam Newton and letting Dak walk. And you save money.
He's not walking.
And getting insurance through Geico.
What's going on Facebook, man? What's going on Facebook?
Scarborough said the Argonauts in Kansas.
To the Argonauts. Well, I mean, look. Cam's he's gonna go somewhere. I mean, things are gonna work out for him. I'm pretty sure. There's plenty of options for him. Like there's plenty of options. So, look, I want to appreciate or want to thank everybody for listening in and tuning in, man. Facebook listeners, watch next week. We've got phone calls we're taking next week. So keep
be
jamming.
sweet. I
Dimitri's
like
gonna
that.
keep answering questions. We're gonna try to get you
Kinda.
on as much as we can. Grant,
Yo.
thank you so much
Hey,
again,
man.
brother.
I love this, dude. This is
Always.
cool.
Can't wait to see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Dimitri, as always. And welcome my partner, Lauren Leal.
Woo!
Yeah.
Super excited.
So excited. Hey, I mean, hey, if you message me something crazy, it
You
may
might,
end up
yeah,
here.
you might make it on the
So-
show. Send Lauren all the crazy messages you want, guys. Once again, coming from the Booth Pimp Studio here at Lucky's Pub, downtown 801 San Emmanuel, Johnny J.
Johnny
My
J.
man. I want to thank Joe Applewhite from Applewhite Realty. I always say at the end, if you ain't first, you're last. That's just how I do it. But he wants
Ricky
me to
Bobby.
say he's making the impossible possible. So we got Joe Applewhite. Thank you so much. 713-291-5270. Mention SWB to him, and he's going to take care of your move for you. Apartments, houses, mansions, lofts, high-rises, whatever you want. He's got it.
Boxes. No, I'm just kidding.
Boxes?
Dollies.
Dollies. I
Tape.
mean, dude, rent a U-Haul, whatever. I might end up out there helping you move. And also, we want to thank Thiessen Law Firm, one of the best law firms in Houston, for all of their stuff, man. Anytime if you have family problems, DWIs, whatever, this guy's got you covered. Mark Thiessen, great friend of the show, and call him anytime you guys want. Johnny will put his stuff up there. But big show on Monday. Again, thank you guys for coming out. We've got a huge show on Monday. We've got Memorial Day stuff coming for you. And I've got a big name I want to tell you guys about that's coming on the show on Monday. He's not coming on Monday, but I've booked him, and you guys will be excited. So hope the Kardashians aren't pissed. We want to thank everybody.
Yes,
Johnny,
thank you.
appreciate you.
Everything was
Throw
awesome.
some music up. Mad love. See you guys
Hey,
Mondays.
real quick,
Oh,
Jeff.
yeah.
Thank
Oh, yeah.
you.
Hold on. We got a
Yeah.
special thing Dimitri needs to tell everybody.
All right, I just gotta ask everybody if you could do me a favor real quick and say a prayer for my family. I lost my grandma today from COVID-19, and before this, I didn't know anybody who had it, and then it just hit me quick. So,
Mad love.
thank
Much
you,
prayers.
Thank you so much for helping me laugh today, y'all. It really means a lot.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
please say a prayer for my family, everybody, and thank you all so much.
Rest in peace.
I love you, everybody out there.
Johnny, you got some music?
Rest in peace, Grandma.
Let's start jamming, y'all.
Goes to
See
her.
y'all Monday.